Yes, Jesse K, Tat Wizard. This is Hot in Tech. And listen, we just trying to be binge watchable. If that's a word, I don't know. But anyway, listen, got another episode that you really want to stay tuned for. I have in the building my man Eric and my man Mims here representing Recordgram. Gentlemen, how are you today?
Good, man. Good to be here. Happy to be here. It's a different side of the of the world for me right now.
Yes.
But
well,
I'm enjoying
all right.
it.
If anybody's been paying attention, then they know you have been in the tech space, looking at things and doing some things since you've been in the music space. But this is probably you coming out into the forefront of letting people know that this is where you're at now.
Yeah. When I first got in, and Eric and I, we actually and our other business partner CO, we put a
Shout out to CO.
pretty tremendous deal together with Microsoft, and
Yes,
we had a great relationship with them coming into my career, and
right.
Microsoft Mims.
Yeah,
Yes.
Microsoft Mims, and you know that kind of opened up my eyes. So I've always been like a tech geek or tech nerd, as they say, but
Welcome to the fold. Thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So it just opened up my eyes, and Eric and I, we've been on the road, but we're also businessmen too. So we started seeing the tech market emerge maybe 6 or 7 years ago. We took trips to Silicon Valley,
Right.
not knowing nothing,
Right.
but we went out there just to kind of learn, and here we are 6 or 7 years later with a product called Recordgram, and ready to kind of change the game, change the world.
Let's get it out now. So Eric, I've known you a long time, my brother, and you have been key and instrumental in a lot of things, from artist relationships to DigiWax popping off, which to me was the first MP3 record pool, transferring from a vinyl record pool to MP3, but way back when it was important to do so. Please explain Recordgram to us.
So Recordgram is Mims's idea. Recordgram is the first mobile music and video recording studio that lets amateur artists, upcoming musicians, create original songs with award-winning music producers, all from the palm of their hand for under $5. So in layman's terms, music producers, whether they're upcoming or known, can upload their beats to our platform at recordgram.com. And once those beats are in our platform, aspiring artists can discover those beats. They can listen to the beats in the Recordgram app. They could write a song to it, record a song to it, all within their phone, shoot a video to it, and then they could share that creation across Recordgram's social platform and all of their other social platforms, specifically Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and they could text and email it. When they share it across other social platforms, not Recordgram's platform, it's created through a link. So the record actually is not downloadable, and these artists who are leasing these beats, it's a non-exclusive license, so they don't take full ownership in the master recording. It's a non-exclusive license, and they're able to share it. And if that song picks up and they want to come back around and buy that beat from the producer for exclusive price, they can work that deal out through us as well.
That's fire.
And Mims, you came up with this concept. What were you thinking? Why was this what you wanted to make?
I bumped my head a few times in the music industry, and that's what it is. When you learn from your trials and your tribulations, I've had a very fruitful and successful career. But prior to my career taking off around 2006, 2007, it was frustrating. Because as an artist, and mind you, I'm from New York. I'm from Wash Heights. I lived in Long Island for a while. But as an artist on the come up, when you want to get into the music industry, to pay for some of the stuff that you got to pay for, there's only one thing that you can be doing to pay for, and that's hustling. And and I think that's an unfair advantage to a lot of artists that have talent but don't necessarily have the money to pay for collaborations with top tier producers. So for me, I wanted to create a platform that allowed artists to get a fair shot. And I think what Recordgram, like Eric was saying, is when we first came up with the concept, we were still kind of like contemplating how do we price artists downloading music. And I said to them, we got to keep everything under $5. I said, because that's what's going to allow artists to be more prominent on the platform, and also have the courage to come back and continue to do new music and fire music with all these producers. So
for the producers, a lot of producers, whether they're established like a Swiss Beats or Timbaland or upcoming, Swiss Beats and Timbaland don't necessarily have to chase for placements, but the amount of artists that can afford $100,000. I don't know what they're charging, but let's say it's $100,000 for a beat. The amount of major label artists that can afford that are actually, it's shrinking, diminishing, and their budgets are shrinking and diminishing. So that's why you're not going to hear 1,000,001 Swiss Beats placements or Scott Storch placements, because the budgets are lower. For the upcoming producer, they have to chase for placements. It may take them 6 months to a year just to get a placement on C or D level artist or B level artist, and that by the time that placement actually makes it, and it maybe makes an album, and then they get paid from the label, maybe they don't get paid what they want, maybe it's a back-end deal, maybe they don't get the royalties they want. So we basically shrink and get rid of that whole middleman philosophy, and we say, here's an application where the producer can lease their beat directly to the consumer. We're bringing artists to the producer versus the producer going out and chasing the artist, and that's one of the advantages that we're bringing to the game.
No, that's fire. I mean, I clearly know of several beats that became super popular, like a Bobby Shmurda, a designer, like, you know, the producers sold these beats for next to nothing.
Fetty Wap, Trap Queen was another one.
Yeah. So I mean, this is perfect. This is perfect.
Are you getting a lot of uploads? Like, are you making hits off the platform?
Well, the goal obviously is, yes, obviously to launch an artist and or a producer from the platform. To date, one artist or aspiring artist on our platform has taken a meeting with Universal Records.
Nice.
Has she created a hit on the platform? I don't know, but she caught someone's attention at Universal Records where they brought her in for a meeting, and that had nothing to do with the relationships that he and I have with the label. This was an outside thing that happened. So we just launched maybe a few months ago, so we are just getting kicked off the ground, and we spent no money on marketing and promoting the app. So everything that's happened thus far in terms of content creation has been organically driven. And we are working on certain partnerships with large brands to help bring us to help get us more exposure. And we're also trying to get some additional producers, high caliber, big name producers on the platform that will also help bring us additional exposure.
So how are you generating revenue right now?
We're trying to appeal to the music leads and the dub smashers of the world. So those same kids that are, and there's 90 million or 100 million kids who are using Musical.ly right now. Yeah. Those kids have a burning desire to be a musician, but those platforms only allow them to create music, karaoke music. Yeah. Our platform is an original music creation platform. So you technically create a song that you've created. It's not someone else's lyrics or verses. It's your own music, and we give that opportunity to those same users, those same millennials or what have you.
And what are the incentives for producers to give you their best content or to upload their content?
I mean, the biggest incentive, obviously, is that you have an unlimited amount of artists that you can reach, an unlimited amount of downloads you can get. We encourage producers to price their beats anywhere between free and $4.99. And we give, I believe, a 50% rev split to the producers. So just imagine if there's 1 million artists on the platform and 20,000 come and download XY beat from XY producer. That revenue alone generated is probably a lot more than they would even on some major placements in the music industry nowadays.
And
it's micro payments on a macro level. So it's small payments but high volume, like a Sam's Club or a Price Club, how they price their goods. They're selling their products cheaper, but they're selling it in bulk, and that's what we're trying to do. Sell that same beat for $2 or $3, or lease that beat for $2 or $3 to thousands of people over and over again, and it generates exponentially more money for that producer.
So say out of that 20,000 that downloaded that beat, 4 of them have songs that start to become popular, but then 2 of them are actually, getting out of here, going stratosphere level. How does that work out?
Well, that's actually a good problem.
Whose song is that? You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing, and this is the world we live in. That's a good problem to have, and I say on both fronts. One, for the producer, because it allows the producer to actually have the ability to pick what situation is better for them between what artists, and even for the artists, it just shows them that whatever content they're creating, they have a fan base. I mean, the goal is not necessarily to divide more than it is to obviously give artists the opportunity. There's more than enough production that's on the application now to choose from. But I think it like he said, it's obviously what do you call it? Micro payments on a macro level. So
all right, but would the choice be, okay, then artist A that's got X amount of popularity goes to the producer and says, all right, I leased this for $5, but I want to pay you. Now here's 20 grand,
Exactly.
and now this is my song, and can they then shut everybody else down?
Yeah, well, okay, so it's a non-exclusive lease. So all
Right.
those people that had that beat non-exclusively, it's like a lease to purchase a home.
Right.
The producer maintains 100% of the copyright until that said artist buys that beat exclusively and comes to terms with the producer, which again we can facilitate. So once that XYZ artist decides to buy that beat for $20,000, the producer says yes, I'll do it. Then the beat is removed from our platform. We can't stop the other people who have the beat from putting out their songs. We can't
Right.
do that at all.
Right.
But they can't make any money from it.
Right.
And they can't do a deal with it. The person who has that beat exclusively now owns that beat, owns that song. They work out the song splits, the publishing splits with that producer, whatever it may be, whatever they decide on, and then that's it. And then the beat's off the platform.
We definitely look forward to watching Recordgram grow and taking over the world. Any help you guys need, we're here.
Appreciate
Any
that.
information you guys want to get out to the public, we definitely are here help to do that. And really appreciate you guys coming through today.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for
Congratulations.
having us,
Appreciate it.
man.
Word up.
And this is why we're hot in tech. I had to. I'm sorry. I had
It's
to.
all good.